What's good, everybody? What's good? We are back. We have the usual suspects here again to talk more music. We have Anon and TBH. Say what's up, y'all.
Skirt.
Penis.
Wow.
All right, so you all have been literally spamming us for like the entire week about this particular rapper, man. And as you all know, Logic came out with the album titled Everybody. And after listening to this entire album multiple times, I'm still left with one burning question. What is Logic's ethnicity? I still don't know. After this entire album, after all his projects, we still don't know whether this man is black or white. I just don't know why he just can't convey this message to us. Every song, he says it, but I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing whether he's black or white. Can anyone explain? What is he? Is he white? Is he black? Is he everybody? Is he an alien? What is he? I don't know.
I think you answered it, right there yourself. He's everybody. That's why the album's called Everybody.
Everybody people.
Right.
So, but on a serious note, man, everybody, I didn't really have any expectations for this album, but when it came out, it was just a clusterfuck of hearing the same thing every single track. I really don't think that there is a track on this entire album where he didn't mention that he was black and white. And
maybe
this
not,
already.
Maybe not him mentioning, because I think race was mentioned on every track on this album. Whether or not it was him is up in the air, because I'd have to go through and listen to it again. But he did talk about himself for a little bit. But I don't want to sound ignorant and say that it was on every single track. He said that he was black and white, but he definitely, I feel like, mentioned race.
Yeah. Every single track that was a part of the topic of whatever song that it was. Definitely race was mentioned. Yeah, whether it was like, oh, well, I'm black and white and I've been through the struggle, or, you're black, I know you're going through the struggle, but everything's okay. Pray to God. Or you're white, but, we're still everybody. Everybody's still the same. We all bleed the same colors. So, you should still be nice to your fellow man.
Right.
And it just didn't make sense. It really sounded like out of all of the 13 songs on here, that was the same thing. And I was just looking for more when I heard this, and I wasn't finding any other depth to this album. I really wasn't finding anything else to it, and that's what really killed it for me. And I think that's what disappointed a lot of people. Is we understand what he was trying to do, but it just wasn't executed well. He was just bashing it into our brains that race is a factor, and us as black men, obviously we know this. It's not a surprise to us at all about race being an issue. And while Logic being black and white, a lot of people didn't even know, in the beginning that he was.
In the beginning,
that he was
very
mixed.
Beginning.
Yeah, so a lot of people were like, oh yeah, he's white and he may possibly have white privilege. And then, he talked about the story and was like, okay, well, maybe, you did have a heart, but I still feel like at the end of the day, someone being mixed, you still don't have it as hard as someone who is just black. Like, we understand the struggle, but I feel like you will still never fully understand the struggle of being, just one race. The race that apparently everybody in the entire world hates to some extent, or has a stereotype against, or has prejudice against.
I feel like that whole, first of all, before we get into my opinion, TBH here, Black Okage, me, there are three people in this conversation. And a lot of times in the comment section, people like to take my opinion and put it on JG or somebody else, or even Anon in the chat. This is my opinion only. Like they were talking about the whole race issue thing. This whole album's an issue, okay? It's terrible. Logic is like a 10th grader who just figured out that the world isn't all sunshine and farts, and he puts it on a fucking CD. Like, let me read you some of the shit he says on Twitter, right? Okay. This album is about mental health, domestic violence, mass shootings, drug abuse, racism, indigenous people, anxiety, depression, suicide, happiness, money. Shut the fuck up, bro. Education, homophobia, upper middle class and lower class, fear, hate, acceptance, fame, religion, politics, money, childhood, and gang violence. Did you get any of that in the album?
No.
All right, so I don't want to discredit him completely because he does talk about those type of things in the album. The problem is it's on such a surface level that it's like for you to even bring that up in the conversation, it's like, oh man, like Logic will be like, yo, the government lied. Yo, then his fans would be like, yo, the government does lie. Oh my God, bro. That's so real. Yo, like slavery was a bad thing, bro. Like it's I don't have a problem with him talking about these subject matters, like how we like and I feel like that point was missed in the last Logic video that we did, because for those of you unaware, that last Logic, it was called his Logic plateaued. We recorded that a few weeks before Logic had came out, and I predicted he was going to talk about all this shit. And I said I have no problem with him being positive and talk like being we need more positivity in rap, but let's not pretend like hip hop culture what isn't rooted in being cool. Like you could convey a message and still be cool. And like he just comes across as a cornball. Like this shit was All Lives Matter, the soundtrack. This was Biracial Boy, the album. This shit was it's one of the worst albums of the year. I don't care what anybody says, bro. Like the best thing on the album was the hook on what was it? Killing Spree.
Ass, titties, pussy, money.
When I heard that shit, I was like, okay. And I thought he was gonna go into some whole self-reflection rap about how the industry wants him to be one way or another, and then he just goes back into like his basic biracial boy bars. I'm just like, bruh.
Biracial boy bars.
Blame it on a black, blame it on a white.
Right, blame it on everybody black, everybody white.
Yeah.
Like everybody gets. Go ahead.
Right. So let's break this down even more. So Hallelujah. I mean, the title is self-explanatory with that
and
one.
I would like to say I'm a fan of Logic. I don't want everybody just thinking that I'm hating. That's why I'm so disappointed. Like, but go ahead, Jay. My bad.
Yeah. So Hallelujah is pretty much self-explanatory with that, and this is 7 minutes long. I was like, damn, for an intro.
No, but here's the thing.
It was very, very long.
This is this Hallelujah is literally, I feel like a metaphor for the album too, because it's funny because it's 7 minutes long, but it's not 7 minutes long like Mural. It's like it's really a 3-minute song and then a 3-minute skit. And somebody broke it down. 29% of this album is just skits, like either Logic talking or somebody else talking, or just it's a whole lot of dialogue.
Let's talk about how the part where the skit comes in where the dude dies and he finds out that his baby mama was cheating and this, that, and the third.
Right.
The guy doesn't even show up until like the last half of the album. So it was like, why are you even? The skits were completely pointless in the album, and like you said, they took up 30% of the album. So for it to take up 30%, that means 30% of the album was completely fucking pointless.
Well.
That was the concept to it, though. Go ahead.
Right. Well, when I first heard Hallelujah, I was like, okay, this is dope. Like from the first line, I was like, oh, made in the image of God with a blunt in my hand and a bitch on the side. I was like, all right, yeah, I'm fucking with this. But yeah, and the skit comes in, and I'm like, all right, this is cool, whatever. Everybody I had already heard, and I like the song, but to me, it was like a standard Logic song. It was like what's that song that came out off his last album? It was like Whoa. It just reminded me of another like Whoa track. It was like, oh, this is good. And I guess another issue I have with the album is the features don't seem to like I feel like the purpose is misused. Like I'll never forget there was an Eminem song that had Kendrick Lamar on it, and I was so butthurt because I expected like God tier straight up Welcome to Hell, Royce the 5'9", Eminem just spitting, and like I think Kendrick was like singing on it, and it was just such a big disappointment to me. That's exactly how I felt when I heard Confess, and like I was like, yo, Logic and Killer Mike, let's go. And like I'm not saying what Killer Mike was saying wasn't for the culture or wasn't impactful or wasn't good, not at all. I actually thought it was like a really nice piece, but I wanted some fucking bars, bro.
Exactly. That was my biggest disappointment. Not even the race stuff. That was my biggest disappointment right there. Is the fact that on this particular song, I saw it. I was like, oh shit, you got Killer Mike. and he did not rap.
And I think it also hurts it in regard to, like, I think the production on this album is awesome. So it's like you have this awesome it's like all these check marks. The production is good. We know you can rap, this, that, and the third, but it's just like there are things that are done on certain songs that just make it like, why'd you do that?
You know what would have been better?
Like, on Take It Back, there's a 5-minute skit.
Oh, we're gonna get on that one too. That's also a huge offense. So on Confess, or just the entire album, like, I feel like he probably could have just not put a feature on there. Like, actually put the name of Killer Mike on there. A lot of artists also do that. They have so many people that, you know, they participate on the song, but if you're not actually rapping or singing, they just, you know, exclude them from the actual features on the album. Right. Like, you'll see them in the credits, like who all contributed to it, but he could have just took Killer Mike, like, because I know Killer Mike's voice. I'll be like, oh shit, it's Killer Mike.
Yeah, that probably would have made
that would have worked. Yeah, that would have worked. But having featuring Killer Mike, I'm like, yo, this motherfucker about to rap, bruh. We just heard Run the Jewels. Are you kidding me? We just heard Run the Jewels, and we know what Killer Mike is, you know, what he's capable of. Him and LP go in all the time about these particular subjects. But it was a huge letdown with that one. So let's get forward. We're gonna come back to Killing Spree.
Let's talk about how this man got No ID, Black Thought, and Chuck D all on one record, and that shit was a flop.
Yeah, we're going to get to that one next, man. Another disappointment.
This is why I be saying, bro, his fan base is such fucking fake hip-hop fans. Not all of them, but it's like Black Thought is a fucking hip-hop legend. Chuck D is a hip-hop legend. You put them on the record and nothing happened, just like Killer Mike. It's like, one of my biggest problems with this album is, Can y'all quote anything off the album besides the hook for Killing Spree?
Well, I just have, like I said, the first line in Hallelujah, but besides that, and actually not really.
When he was talking about Trump,
there's
I
some
think.
bars. There's some, like, well, the only reason I know this bar is because I don't like it, because I didn't like.
That's not a good thing.
It was the bar in it was in Killing Spree, actually. It was blame it on a black, blame it on a white, blame it on a gun, blame it on a Muslim or some shit like that. And I was just like,
oh yeah, that shit was terrible. That was terrible.
Pronounce that like that.
Muslim.
Yeah, but I was like, why?
But hold on. But fuck the pronunciation. Let's just break down the bars in itself. It's literally him trying to live up to the title of the album. Everybody. He's just trying to include everybody in the damn verse. Trying to check off a box. He's trying to check off each box on. All right, well, we got black, check. We got white, check. We got the Muslim, check. We got women, check. And it's like everything is so surface level. It's like really go into detail. It's like this album comes across as if he wanted to be Immortal Technique, but he's just like, he's too elementary. Like, he hasn't really dug into his history. So it's oh my god, bro. I don't know.
Right.
We're gonna talk about this for a while.
Right. So let's go to Take It Back, where after he was done rapping, he went on a rant. So in this particular rant, because TBH, while you listen to it, you was like, yo, I'm done with this shit. I was like, no, at least listen to Take It Back, because he was going in. He was going in on this one. So he was talking about, and we mentioned this before, how he's from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, right? Gaithersburg, sorry. It's always hard. Yeah, so Gaithersburg, and some people that were actually from there or know about that area said that it's particularly white, and there's not really anything bad going on there. So I'm sure that Logic heard this before, because he went in on how people were talking about that. And he was like, yo, you know, y'all don't know, like y'all don't think that because I come from there that I didn't grow up rough, or I didn't, you know, come from Section 8. And he really like was taking offense to it. So obviously that struck a nerve with him, because people were, you know, coming at him about, you know, where he was actually from, and saying that he didn't struggle at all. And then of course he was just going in, of course, about, you know, still being black and white, and his mom's situation, her story, and his dad, and we've all heard it before. So that's
but the whole thing is like, here's the thing. It's like we always say, Logic's fan base is large, but everybody who fucks with Logic, and we live in a day and age now where people watch interviews, like people want to know your story. So like, I've known about the black and white thing since like before his first album, and it was reinforced after Under Pressure, because Under Pressure was about his life, and he brought his dad to Hard Knock TV and his brother also. So it's like, it's pretty much at this point, if you don't know Logic is black and white, bruh, do your research. Like, J. Cole doesn't have to tell you that he's mixed. Like, if you do your research, you'll find that shit out. And I just
you need to research. He tells you 85 times in the album.
But what I'm saying is all this stuff doesn't have to be reiterated. My biggest problem with this entire album, right, is actually the execution, because I feel like the concept was fucking awesome. I just watched the movie Into the Void not too long ago, and it's about reincarnation pretty much. And I thought the concept of, like, Adam, you are everyone, everything that because like the conversation that he has is kind of deep. He's like, oh, I was Hitler, yeah, and you were the millions that Hitler murdered also. It was like that is deep. I feel like instead of saying who he was or whatever, I felt like if every song literally was from the perspective of somebody else, but like just went so vivid and so detailed into it, it could have just made the album like so much stronger, instead of just having little snippets here and there. I felt like this album was more so for Logic than anybody else. He just wanted to get what was off his chest. I don't know if he was like frustrated about something, or if he just was like, I have to tell these people this. But I felt like the concept was a lot more held together in the last album, because it's these two guys trying to find paradise, just listening to Logic's album. You know what I'm saying? Like, but on this one, it's, I don't know, it was really hard for me to really say that the concept came through like 1000%. Like, it's just like, it's just unfortunate.
So A9, even during this conversation, when A9 was typing in the group DMs, he sounded like, his dog died or something. Like, because he knew that at that point, he couldn't really defend Logic in this album. We were listening to it and we were like, yo, what is this? Like, I hate to say it too. Like, I'm not a bigger Logic fan than you, obviously. Like, you met him, you spit for him and all that. So you have a much stronger relationship than I do, just listening to his music. But like, man, like, I'm disappointed too, dog. I'm really disappointed. And take it back, like, just that by itself, that told me that, yeah, he was definitely frustrated. Not only with, the random people, because who knows how many people, were trying to come at him about his race or where he's from.
But
did he actually struggle?
That's the way that I see it. Like,
yeah,
just like,
but that's easier said than done, ain't none.
Nah, fuck him, because that shit shouldn't mean anything. Yo, if I was in Logic's position, nobody would be able to tell me shit, bro. Like, moving 250,000 units my first week. I have a nice ass fucking house in California. I have my wife. I have my dog. Everything Irie, bro. Like, nobody could tell. You look white. You're not black. All right, nigga. Seriously, like, how it doesn't bother you.
It's cool. The message is cool. The problem is he comes across as super preachy, and it's like, I feel like you can make music that preaches something, but then it also uplifts people, which is why I always go back to
All Right,
Kendrick's All Right, or even more recently Joey Badass's Devastated. I thought that was a good anthem. I used to feel so devastated, and at times it's like make it into an anthem instead of making it into it feels like this album is woe is me. My life's really hard.
You know what it is? I feel like a lot of shit is told to you, and not a lot of shit is shown to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
He's not painting pictures. That's a good example. He's not painting pictures.
It's like, because that's with entertainment, period. Good stories are always, you know what I'm saying? Good stories are always shown. And there's a reason why the saying less is more is real. If you, like, anybody could listen to this album and know and digest it 100% after one listen.
Right.
Yeah.
It's he doesn't switch up the subject matter. It's like in the last album, what I liked about the last album was the concept album. He was telling the story all throughout, and the skits matched with everything. And the subject matter was changing from song to song, but at the same time, he was still managing to paint a picture. Here is just like from track 1 to how many tracks are there?
13.
From track 1 to 13, I'm black, I'm white, my life is hard, you guys don't understand, and everybody get along, be nice to the Muslims. And it's like, bro, I know that already. Okay, could you say something clever?
Right.
Another thing is, I felt like the topics that were touched on, well, not the topics, but like when the race was touched upon, for an album that calls itself Everybody, did y'all hear anything about Asians or Asian culture or
No.
Asian struggles?
No.
I mean,
Everybody is black
or
and
what about,
white.
yeah, what about Israel and all the shit that goes down in like the Middle East?
Like
besides-
he talked about a religion with the Muslims, but
Yeah,
he didn't talk.
yeah,
but
but
I'd
other than
argue
that,
he
like an
didn't
actual
really
race.
talk about. I'd argue he really didn't even talk about Hispanics. He mentioned his Mexican wife, and that was it.
Yeah.
Right.
So for that was also an issue I had. That goes back in what I was saying with like the execution. It's just kind of like the album is called Everybody, but like you hear about different situations that everybody goes through. So I guess maybe that's an angle, but see, the reason why that kind of falls flat is because of the whole concept and the skits with you have to live through everybody's life.
It
Well,
still
then
wasn't
show
executed
us.
properly. Yeah.
And also on top of that, I would have preferred if that was the longest skit on the album, and throughout the album, every time like somebody dies, like they go and they have a conversation with God, and like essentially like it gets closer, and then finally at the end, then it's like, now you've lived through all the lives, forever, and now we go and you become a god or a higher plane of existence, something, you know what I'm saying? Like it, there's ways that this could have been executed that would have been really strong.
Because he wanted to call it Everybody. What would have been a dope execution, at least in my opinion, is if he would have took what Kendrick did with Duckworth and told this whole story, and took it and put it in the shoes of a bunch of different people. Tell a story from a Hispanic side.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
From an Asian immigrant, an African.
Yeah,
and then everybody comes through the end and just tell all these different stories of how different people grew up. Give us some dope bars in between. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like that would have been
didn't
better.
actually know though. I feel like he didn't actually know about like other races. He just knows about his own struggles, which is fine.
Well, the thing is, that's not an excuse, because when you make money at that level, you can go immerse yourself in a culture for a month or two. You have the opportunity because you make so much money. Yeah, like okay, The Weeknd for his first album, I think he spent like 6 months in Japan. You know what I'm saying? Like you can go away and study multiple cultures if that's what you're going to talk about, if you're going to do a giant undertaking like that, because you have the funds to do so. You know what I'm saying? Like turn off everything, go experience life from other people's perspectives and write about that shit. That would have been awesome.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he didn't
agree.
do that. He could have, but I'm saying like, I don't know. I think he could have done that.
Yeah. So all right. So let's move on. So we get to track 7, right? And track 7 features the most ignorant nigga I know, who's ever laced his vocals on track, Juicy J, bruh. So I get to track 7. I'm already hearing this. I'm like, okay, what could he possibly talk about with Juicy J on the track, yo? This has to be ignorant, right? Like, how is he going to spin this? And like the first part, yeah, he was still on his preachy stuff. And then Juicy J got on it, and he was still, he was still being kind of ignorant, but it was just like, all right, yo, fuck everybody. Like, I'm gonna get my gun and shoot somebody if you messing with me. And it still wasn't executed properly. It still wasn't executed properly because it's like by the time you get to track 7, you already know what everything's gonna be about. So Juicy J just didn't fit. He just didn't fit on the album either. So I don't understand why that was included here. It didn't make any sense. So again, like that could have been a track that just could have been thrown away.
Let's do this shit.
Shut
the
didn't
fuck
fit.
up. Let's get this motherfucking money, man. We ain't starting these little stupid ass bitches, still fake ass niggas out here, man. Like, what does that have to do with anything? Like,
I was like, okay, Juicy. Like, I didn't understand.
like when you read those lyrics, it's like, what does that have to do with anything on the album, my guy? Shit just fell apart right there.
Also, another thing to quote, this is Chaos, not me saying this, but this is what Chaos pointed out that was like really interesting. He was like, he has a song about suicide and the suicide hotline, but like Juicy J on the album tells people to kill themselves.
Right. I was like, yo, come on, bro. That doesn't work, man. That does not work at all. You told people to kill themselves, yo.
What's the name? Let's see. On Twitter, he also says he talks about violence, therapy, slavery, the universe, individuality, peace and love and positive. I can't even read this shit with a straight face, bro. This is great. This is fucking great, yo. It's like you know what the problem with the album? It's like when they teach you in school about like American Black history. What do they always say? Martin Luther King. He marched on Selma. So no, they don't talk about Malcolm X in school. You talk about Malcolm X, they'll kick you out of class. They don't talk at least not in my school. They talked about Martin Luther King and they talked about Rosa Parks sitting down. That's all they talk about. Is they keep
his little paragraph.
You had to go to this, and this hold on, this no, not in my textbook. You had to go to the library to read about Malcolm X. That's what I'm getting at. This album is classroom American history. It's Rosa Parks, it's Martin Luther King. But I wanted Logic to go to the library, and I wanted him to just dig a little deeper and talk about maybe a Huey P. Newton or a Malcolm X. Not specifically those subjects, but I'm saying he could have just gone deeper than what he was talking about, like the universe. Come on, bro. When did he talk about the universe?
I guess
that man needs to. That man needs to sign me.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe African with Neil, but I don't recall him really talking about the universe. I guess the only real thing about the universe that he talked about was when he was saying that in the skits that old boy was living his life through everybody, constantly just getting reincarnated. So
okay.
Right. Other than that, I can't really recall him talking about the universe like in detail because. I'm really sorry, yo. All that I heard was, I'm black and white, and everybody love each other. And it's sad, dog. It's really sad.
No
that's
shit.
All I got about this.
It really is. It just upsets me sometimes because like you can make a positive, dope album like Chance, Kyle, like Smile by Kyle is a really positive, really dope album. Chance 3 is a really positive, really dope album. I feel like you can do that shit. It's just like to be completely honest with you, I can't even blame Logic for this. I have to blame the fan base. One of the worst fan bases in hip hop. I have to blame the fan base, and I am.
So go in detail about that. Why are the fans
because
blame
it's the same thing? It's the same thing that I talked about in the other video. When you come up so quickly, right, and you receive so much success and so much praise and all that sort of stuff, then it becomes, well, shit, I'm doing everything right. So what the fuck? Why would I change? And especially with Everybody, which in my opinion is his weakest album, moving the most units he ever has in his first week. Like I think this is 3 times the amount that Under Pressure moved its first week. So like that's pretty crazy, and almost twice the amount that The Incredible True Story moved its first week. Also,
I'm looking at somebody tatted Everybody on their arm.
I saw that. Yeah,
that is ridiculous, boy. You're gonna regret that.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. This is why I say I have to blame the fan base, because like I am a huge Logic fan, and so is Chaos too. But we both heard the album. We were like, damn, bro, I don't know about this one. Like,
it's because he's speaking about the hardships of being a person of color, but he's scratching it on a surface level. And when you come from a certain type of struggle, you really want people to feel your pain. But this appeals to people who never really been through shit, and that's the problem with his fan base. Most of them are fucking FaZe Clan fans. They're not real hip hop fans, and he benefits from the Elvis effect, where his fans are people who don't really listen to hip hop and really dig into the crates. So then he comes across as like the first positive person they ever seen. So, oh man, such and such is whack, man. You need to stop listening to Logic because he's like a positive, dope rapper and this, that, and that. Be like, what are you talking about? NWA was talking about all you got to do is express yourself back in the fucking late 80s. What are you talking about, bro?
Well, the other thing behind it is also like, it's hard. I saw a review on the album, I think by Tabby, and he was like, it's hard to hate on this album because like he's trying to spread something positive and trying to talk about positivity and stuff like that. So it's like, it's hard to hate on somebody who's just trying to make the world better. But it's like the music there are things that were just done.
You can be positive and you can be corny. I mean, a prime example is come on, Ace. Come on, he's a really positive guy, but he's corny too.
Oh boy.
Yo, keep my name out your mouth.
Right. Yeah, he gonna get mad at that one. I already know.
You can be positive and you can be corny, and like when it comes to hip hop, you need to check every box, because at the end of the day, and maybe these Logic fans don't know that, hip hop was birthed in the idea of being cool. Want to hip
and the struggle.
Yeah, and the struggle. I wouldn't even say the struggle, because the struggle came along in the 90s, late 80s.
Okay,
It was originally party music that made people feel cool. You dress cool, and that's why everybody wants to be a part of the hip hop culture, and that's why it's so pop culture now, because everybody wants to dress like us, because we're the coolest motherfuckers on earth. The black man is the most influential motherfucker on earth. So don't sit there and try to say to me that cool is not a factor into hip hop. So if you're missing that factor, we don't want to hear your shit. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, the mainstream was birthed off of
because
being cool,
because you can be corny and simultaneously be cool.
Let me give you an example of what's cool. Like Chance's record is super positive with 2 Chainz and Wayne. If one more record try to stop me. Yeah, no problem. There's gonna be some dreadhead niggas in your lobby. The positive message is, yo, I'm independent. I own my shit. I'm proud. But it was still cool, because he was like, yo, if the label try me, I'm gonna pull up. Like, it's that sophisticated ignorance that I was talking about. And people laugh when I said that word. That's the thing, sophisticated ignorance. It's just a little bit in there, they got a little coolness in there, but it's still a positive message. And like, Logic is like, I got it. So Chance is like a Baptist church, right? Whether you believe in a religion or not, the point everybody knows that black churches are popping, right? And they're preaching a positive message of, treat your brother the way that you want to be treated. But at the same time, in a Baptist black church, they turn the fuck up. Then you have a more Hispanic or white Catholic church preaching the same message, but it's like, oh, we love Jesus. Which church you want to go to, fam? Same message. Which church you want to go to? Oh
boy, I mean the Baptist one, obviously, yep.
And that Logic is a Catholic rapper. Thank you.
Wow.
Not literally, but you get what I'm saying. Like the metaphor. It's just like he's missing that.
It's crazy, man, because I can hear about a rapper rapping about selling bricks the entire album, but they can still make it cool. Like the beats will carry it, or something else along those lines that'll just appeal to me. With this one, it was like, damn, it's supposed to be positive, but I just literally got like race beat down in my head for 13 tracks, yo. 13 tracks straight.
It's like, damn, too, because when you go back and look at Under Pressure is so like well put together. Because
like, Gang Related was dope, yo. Gang Related was so fucking dope.
Not even Gang Related. Growing Pains 3. When I heard that song, I was like, damn, bro. Like that's what it is. I didn't get a damn.
I think here's where the disconnect is too, because like, us as people of color, what he's talking about and what he's talking about on a very surface level, we understand it, and that's why we're looking for something more. I'm looking like on his Twitter, and he's retweeting every positive comment or anybody who buys the album, and everybody who's bought his album in the picture is a white person who looks like they watch Face, to be honest.
Unfortunately,
yeah, and for them, this is dope because they've never probably heard this perspective, so it means more to them. But because we live this shit, it don't mean shit to us, because he's like, nigga, we know. Like, say something else.
Yep, exactly. That's what. Yeah, so that disconnect is very, very prevalent here. We already know about it. We're living it every day, dog. You still, unfortunately, Logic, you still have that white privilege, dog, because you are both. You're black and white, and a lot of people don't even talk about it. Drake does too. Like everybody try to put him in that black category. He mixed too. He's standing and he went full on pop, bro.
The thing is. It's like TVH says, like, the thing is, Drake, J. Cole, a lot of the other mixed artists look black.
Right. And Logic, he's a total opposite. So that's why, like
that's why Logic has to tell you that he's black and white, because he doesn't look it. But it's one of those, you know what it is?
Why beat it down my throat,
thinking about it. No, but I was thinking about it. Have you ever heard of Halsey?
No.
Okay, well, she's a pop artist that went on tour with The Weeknd back when he dropped the first pop album, Beauty Behind the Madness, I think is what it was called. I started really loving her music. So I went and I watched an interview. I think she had like Beats One, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm." She looks white. She looks white as fuck, but she's like, "Yeah, my name's Ashley. My dad's black. Like, she's biracial." And I was like, "Oh shit!" And you would never know if you look at her at all. Like it's the same kind of thing as Logic. Like she looks white,
but she made an entire project talking about she's
never talked about it, at least I not to my knowledge, in her music, because it definitely wasn't on her album Badlands, and I listened to that shit like hardcore. So I think the whole thing is like, who cares, bruh? You can be a dope rapper that looks white. Like if Eminem was half black and has been hiding it for like his whole life and just came out and said
still
it,
wouldn't
like,
change.
oh cool, yeah, it wouldn't change a damn thing. Like it doesn't, like it's one of those things where it's like, you don't get cool points. If I think you're dope, I think you're dope. It doesn't fucking matter like what race you are. Like if I think you're a white guy and I think you're dope and you're like, oh, by the way, I'm half black, I'm like, oh, interesting.
I think that rule is always applied in hip hop. Like hip hop has always been inclusive. We don't give a fuck what your race is, nigga.
Yeah.
Like, you just want to know if you dope or not.
Like somebody put me on the Logic. I think it was I forgot what the first project that I heard of him was, but you know, obviously I looked at him and what's the first thing that come to mind? Oh yeah, he's white, but he sound dope. And then, you know, after listening through it, and he mentioned that, he was like, yeah, you know, my dad was black and my mom was white. I was like, okay, that's interesting, because I never would have thought that, but it didn't change my opinion on him.
Exactly.
Because I didn't care.
Oh, cool.
I did not care at all.
It's literally just cool, so I can say nigga around you and you won't be uncomfortable. Dope. That's the only thing in my head that possibly would have changed, because like there's so many people that you can't like, you know, go full coon on, but it's like, oh cool, if you grew up with a black family, bet. Like another example, a really good friend of mine named Jay, he is the whitest guy ever, bro. Like as far as like his family, he's adopted, but like his biological parents must have been like German or some shit, because this nigga looks like the whitest kid ever. But he's adopted and he grew up with 14 black people. That nigga is black. On the inside, he's black. It just is what it is. Like, I feel like you don't have to mention it, bro. Like,
we're past that point. We're really past that point. And given about the album sales and the obvious success of this album, that should tell you all that you need to know, Logic. Like, I do agree with Aina when he said that you made this album for you. That's perfectly fine. I understand, but at the same time, it didn't need to be made. Like, we get it, bro. You're black and you're white. You do not have to tell us for the upteen time. And
we should all get along.
Right, and it does sound kind of hypocritical, because like there are other artists that, you know, talk about selling drugs the whole time, we're taking drugs, and we still, you know, we're like, oh, that's fine, it's cool. But again, I think it's the way that they execute it. Like, they're still cool about it, and this album it didn't come off as cool at all. It just came off as you're preaching to us for 13 tracks, and there was no other subject matter to it. It was just the same stuff. So Logic, again, we get it, but don't do this anymore, dog. Like, I think we're pretty much done after this. You're still cool in my book. You said that apparently you're gonna make one more album, and then it's gonna be your last one. I'm hoping that, you know, we get back to the concepts that are unique to you. Not just I'm black and white, because there are hella mixed people in the world. There are hella people that have been through the same struggle as you. It may not be the same fan base that, you know, you have. They may have not understand the struggle, but that's okay. Like, you don't have to beat it down everyone's throats and let everybody know, because if they're true fans, they already knew this. They knew this already. So why did this need to be made? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
Shit was whack.
I really hate to say that, dog, because I like Logic. I still like Logic, and what the hell? But everybody can have a bad album, and unfortunately, this is yours. This is your Logic. It's your third one, your third it's your fourth official commercial release.
Yeah, but this
wasn't your third album.
This wasn't like a Yeezus bad. Like, Kanye's Yeezus wasn't like flat out terrible.
He was experimenting with that one.
It was just bad for Kanye. Like, Mass Effect Andromeda isn't terrible, it's just a bad Mass Effect game.
Well,
Like this shit
that's-
was just straight up whack to me. It's one of the worst albums of the year.
Well, that's the only place I will disagree. I feel like because like I said, there's positives about the album to me. I just feel like this was a misstep. I just feel like I don't like.
Do
I
you
just
have
won't
one
listen
song?
to it?
Did you put any song on your playlist?
Everybody, but that's a single, so I can't really count it.
I'll put everybody and then Killing
Because my whole thing is
Hold
the
up.
songs that I think are really banging that I want to hear, that I would want to hear again, would be Take It Back, obviously, because I rapped on that beat. But then that has a 5-minute skip, bro.
You said you put everybody on your playlist. That's one song out of 13.
Yeah.
All right, so one divided by 12.
Hold on.
Let's get a score here.
Take It Back. I would have put on my playlist, but
If it
I
didn't have that
hate
skit.
skits. Yeah, it's
Nigga, we're not talking about what you would have
that
put on
freaking
your
rant,
playlist. I said, what did you put on your playlist? You said one song, 1 out of 13.
Killing Spree.
All right, so 2. That's
2
2.
out of 13.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do the math here. 2 divided by 13. All right, so that's like what, like 15, 20 something percent? Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I feel you.
I'm a fan of Logic,
listen to
but like we
something.
gotta call a spade here, my
No,
guy.
I feel you. I'm saying I can listen to an album and like it just be a one listen for me, because that's how I felt about J. Cole's album. Like, and I thought J. Cole's album was actually pretty decent, but I only put like two, 3 songs on that album on my playlist. Like, there are songs that I feel like are good for just one listen, but my whole problem with this is I feel like the whole album is like a one listen kind of thing.
And also goes back to what I said, like when J. Cole fucks up, but when he hits, he really hits. Those 3-4 songs that you really like those songs. I can't say the same about anything on Logic's album. You just kind of sort of like, you just want to throw it on the playlist because you don't just want to throw this album to the side. But I feel like when we revisit this album at the end of the year, when we talk about our top 10 albums of 2017,
It won't be on the list. It's not.
and
Gonna be
it
on the
was-
list.
we're just
Nah,
gonna
it's
we're just
not.
gonna
No,
laugh,
it's
and I'm
not.
gonna bring up those tweets where he talked about positivity and fucking rainbows in the universe and all that other dumb shit.
Stop hating on the positivity, bro.
It's sad because it's like,
Whatever,
damn, we really sound bad, but nah, it has to be heard. Because we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna sit up here and fake and act like it's all cool. Like it was bad, dog. Like I like you, Logic, but nah, this album, I put it on my playlist. I was like, oh shit, this gonna be an instant playlist album, right? And then when I was done, I was like, I gotta take that back. Yeah, I had to take that back, dog. Like, put a couple songs on there.
Man, I listened to that shit. I said, I'm not gonna listen to Damn, bro. This shit sucks, yeah. You know, that's part of the problem. Like, people have to understand that timing is everything. He should have not released this album like a week after Damn came out. That was the worst thing you could have did, bro. Because you dropped your album after arguably one of the best, until something better comes out. That's the best hip hop album to come out this year, at least in the mainstream. So it's like, why'd you do that, my guy? You shot yourself in the foot. At least when it comes to the hip hop community, which he probably doesn't care about because his fans aren't a part of that.
I was like, man,
that's also
another
another thing. You know, it's bad when you meme yourself.
Yeah, this man has memed himself. I see. It's funny because it started in our Discord with like the whole black and white thing, and then next thing you know, like last week, like on Twitter, I see a lot of people make a lot of black and white Logic jokes, and it's like, yo, people are catching on to what I was saying in that video. It's like, I'm not crazy. Like, all he raps about is I'm black, I'm white. We get it, my guy.
But did you know Logic is black and white?
Like, what's that doing for you? Like,
Oh man. Shame. But
so
like
what you,
this is your strike.
y'all gonna give it a score? Y'all gonna give it a score?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
5, 4 to a 5.
I'm gonna get this mug a 3, my G.
Damn.
I have to agree with that. Like I'm not gonna give it a flat out 1 or 0 because that's a reach. But some of the production was all right, and that's why I said 3, 4.
Yeah, cause damn, yo, just damn.
Yeah, Damn was fire.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I went back and listened to that shit too.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was like 3-4 tracks into it, right? I was like on the stairmaster in the gym, listening to that Logic shit. I was like, ugh. Like,
Dog, me too, because y'all were going in, right? And I was in the gym. I was listening to it on my way to the gym, and then I finished. I was like, I can't even work out with this, yo. Like, it made me sad. It made me sad, like, throughout the whole thing, just super disappointed after each track. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a one listen for me, dog. I'm good. I'm so good on this. I can't even bump this shit.
I listened to it twice all the way through, and the second time was just that shit was a chore. just for the sake of this conversation.
Yeah, I was so good. But there y'all go, man. Those are our detailed opinions about Logic's Everybody. Let us know definitely in the comment section how y'all feel about everybody. How y'all feel about everybody? Everybody, talk about everybody.
Feel free to let me know how stupid I am if you haven't already, because I know some of you probably will.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see the comments if y'all agree with us or not. But I know that there are going to be some people like, man, y'all some hating ass niggas, da-da-da. But like I said, these are our opinions, dog, and we're not going to fake for anybody. I like Logic, but I'm not going to say that it's a good album just because I like him. So everybody has a bad one, and this was his. So, yeah, it is what it is. Definitely make sure if y'all really like this and y'all want to see more content, make sure y'all subscribe as well. Hit that bell icon. Y'all never miss a video from us. And also, think about the Patreon, man. We launched a Patreon. Think about being a patron.
If you want to be in a video like this,
you can be in a video like this. In a video like this with us.
And you can call me an idiot.
Yeah. It would be like Skip Bayless, yo. Skip Bayless and Stephen A. of old.
Man, go check it out. You got a chance to win free games over there. You can be in a video with us. You can be a judge on GI Radio. We got a lot of dope shit for y'all. Bringing the community together. GI 17 Patreon. Check that shit out.
Interaction. We got it. We'll let y'all later, man. Peace.